Hello hustlers, Namaskar. Hope you're having a productive day. Today we are going to take a look at how the financial advisory consulting side of things look like. This is my consistent effort where in my previous videos I've highlighted about the strategy and management consulting side of things based on my experience, and now I'm focusing on the niche consulting domains so that you can make an informed decision as to how the strategy and consulting world actually looks like, because this is where people, if you find your area of interest early and the different domains early, you would be able to make a better mark in an already highly competitive market. So with that, let's get started. I am Vaibhav, who is a consultant at Deloitte. I have 2.5+ years of experience where I have explored consulting from scratch up and got my promotion from analyst to consultant recently. So I have seen different kind of things and the nature of work which goes into the consulting, and maybe I'm the right person who will be able to give you clear cut guidance as to how your career growth would look like. Because if you are here, you are already an ambitious person, you might be putting in that hard work. It's just a little bit of lack of knowledge or sometimes a clarity thought which maybe keeps us back from the people who are making a fulfilling career. So that's the bridge I want to make sure that I'm able to add value to, so that you are able to have a growth where you can focus on these niche consulting domains, find your area of interest early so that you are able to make a better mark in your career. So with that, let's get into the topic of the video. So when it comes to financial advisory, the first things which you should understand is there is a different kinds of work that goes on, from mergers and acquisitions, restructuring of the organization, the valuation that happens, the transactions, even at times forensic audits which needs to be done. And when it comes to the Big-4 consulting, you must be knowing that these they're called Big-4 because they have been in the industry for so long, and they are the go-to companies for people who like wants to do their audit work needs to be done, or for them, for the people who are seeking financial advisory guidance. So these are the companies who have developed their mark over the years. Like I can speak for that specifically. Deloitte, with 170+ years of legacy, they have seen whatnot, like they have seen recession time period, and they have over time helped companies to, or their clients to grow better when it comes to the financial advisory aspect. And this again, this for this video I would like to highlight particularly that when it comes to these transactional services, there is a lot of skill which is needed on the financial side. And here's where the commerce background people with CA, CFA level expertise can step up with their different levels which they have done, which the knowledge they have acquired. And not only they are paid really well, the bonuses and hikes they get, the amount of quality which they deliver for these clients is immense, guys. Because here you are working on a scale where you're doing audits for, let's say, Fortune 500 companies, and these companies in itself are very big companies who have their legacy of their own. So not only you are doing a high quality, high deliverable, high responsibility work, you are actually a part of the team who is helping a Fortune 500 company to maintain their whole financial side of things. And your risk and advisory domain, or the consultant which is doing these works, they are designing the internal, like overall financially and operational risks which a company needs to act on, or which they needs to take care on, so that they are able to go consistently towards the profitability in the next years to come. Let's say, let's take a real life example as well. So I even wrote this down. Let's say Tata Group, they are the growing group in India. Everybody knows that. Let's say they want to acquire a mid-sized logistics firm. Let's say for that, what would a financial advisory firm or a group of consultants would do is they would evaluate the target company's potential, their financials, how they're looking right now, are there any hidden risks or any kind of mismanagements that are there which the Tata Group needs to know of, what is their operational health right now, how would they be growing in the time to come, is there any due diligence which needs to be done from an audit point of view, checking if their overall numbers, if they are correct or not, if they are sustainable not or not in the long run, and suggesting how the structure of the deal would look like, the full buyout, the partial stake, the cash stock, how the whole financial modeling process would look like. After doing that, the financially and the risk advisory domains would be suggesting the Tata Group as to how they can now proceed with the deals. Even like again, if the deals happen on the mergers and acquisition part, they need people for the financial side to make sense of the overall business statements, cash flow, and whatnot. So if you are, again I'm insisting this, guys, if you are a person who is having a very good commerce background with a CFA level, if you're from a tier 1 B schools of the commerce side, these are the firms to look forward to, and you can have a really rewarding and fulfilling career, because not only from a hiring or an ROI perspective, your learning curve here would be very strong, because on an yearly basis you'll be working with a lot of clients, maybe on a short term or a long term level, where you'll be dealing with a lot of intellectual and financial data, which will then help you either to like grow in the company, or if you have an entrepreneurial mindset, then you can actually focus on your growth and become a let's say a founder of your own startup down the line, because now you'll be knowing how things look like on a large scale level. How do you actually handle the clients? And for that, I would also like to highlight what are the top financial advisory consulting firms, which are Deloitte Financial Advisory, EY Transactional Advisory Services, KPMG Deal Advisory, PwC Deals or Valuations. And then there are other companies as well, like Alvarez and Marcel, or different companies who are growing in the segments of financial consulting, where they are offering particular niche services to the clients, which are also growing in the market. The specializations which we look forward to, or the business offerings here, are mergers and acquisitions, advisory, valuations and modeling, transactional tax or regulatory advisory, forensics and disputes, turnaround and insolvency, infrastructure advisory. So why I highlighted these business offering is, again, within a big company, the nature of work is divided in the sub offerings, and then when you're joining, if you're mindful of the offerings which you're joining, you can then understand what is the quality or the need of the work which will be done there, so that you can again take an informed decision as to which offerings to join and how your career trajectory would look like. And let's say lastly, from a career growth perspective, the salary paid here is also very well. When it comes to my notes, yeah, so for an analyst, or let's say associate, which is like usually a freshers or a fresher CA kind of a role, you can expect a salary of 10 to 15 directly, and depending on your work experience, it will only increase. Even if you are a person who is a consultant level and is coming from an MBA background, your starting salary could look like from anywhere between 15 to 25. And for a manager who has have, let's say, 5-7 years of experience and is a manager in that particular field, you can actually look forward to a salary which is 30-35 plus as well. And at a partner level, which is like, let's say, 15-20 years down the line, or maybe more depending on the job market and the growth rate, you can clearly expect a salary which is could be 70-80 plus, or even which could relate to reach to 1 crore plus, depending upon your work experience and the company and the business offerings you are with. So with that, I would like to see if we have anything else left to discuss. So mostly we have discussed all the financial aspects. Again, one thing which I want to highlight is, if you are a person who is having a commerce background, or who is doing an MBA with a major in finance, start doing these CFA courses early if you haven't done already, and which will increase your chances to get into these firms. And even if your pay scale at starting level, let's say if you're not from a tier 1 college, is not as much, your growth hikes and opportunities which you will get within the company, or even when you make a switch, would be a lot higher, rather than going to a particular finance work for a company which might not be well known as well. And again, apart from these companies, if you're really interested in the investment banking and core side of things, maybe we can make a video on that as well, because JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, these are the companies who offer the best kind of finance roles as well. From today, we are only continuing our series where we're discussing about the niche consulting segments. So with that, my video comes to an end. I hope I was able to add some value to your already ambitious and productive career. If yes, please do like, comment and share my video. As I'm new to the YouTube, your comments and feedbacks would really matter to me to create a better quality content, or your inputs would help me to create my subsequent videos where I can add value to the journey of people who are like you and looking forward to make a growth in the consulting segments or consulting as a whole. So with that, thank you. See you in the next video.